be or not to be.
The most famous lines in English literature come from the play Hamlet, written by William Shakespeare. You know William Shakespeare, that guy you had to read in high school. I never did understand much of his work, and I never cared or thought much about it up until recently. About a year ago, I came across this strange competition for the world record for the fastest talker. The folks behind Guinness World Records thought to use the Hamlet Soliloquy as a way to consistently measure who can say those lines the fastest. John Shannon is the current world record holder with the fastest time of 23.8 seconds. I, like many other people in my generation, was obsessed with the Guinness World Record books and the TV show that aired on Fox between 1998 and 2001. Who can forget that one guy that broke the record for shooting milk out of his eye the farthest distance?
He's loading now. Oh my God!
If only Shakespeare stuck with me like that guy did. But I always wished I could do something cool and unique like the people on this show. So seeing these speech wizards got me thinking. Because I teach speech and I'm always looking for ways to level up my own skills, what if I could learn these lines? What if I could memorize the Hamlet Soliloquy? And if I could memorize it, how fast could I recite it? Could I get anywhere close to these Guinness World Records? The problem is, it's notoriously long and difficult to memorize. Obscure, archaic language makes it really difficult to understand what it's even talking about too, along with complex psychological themes. Nonetheless, in summer 2022, a full 400 years after Shakespeare wrote this play, I began learning it line by line and verse by verse, reciting each line a few times throughout the day, and then testing myself to see how far I could get. And this got me to a certain point, but I also had to make sense of the words. Who could understand what it's even talking about unless you live in 16th century England? Like, what the heck is a bare bodkin?
Shakespeare is using the word bodkin here to mean a dagger, a sharp, pointed weapon.
I also had to wrap my head around some of the deeper themes explored here, like uncertainty, life and death, and losing one's sanity. I wanted to really feel the context and emotions that were underlying the surface of these lines. It helped to watch some of the pros perform, so I had something to reference and model, especially when it came down to the pronunciation.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
Whether it is nobler in the mind.
To suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune.
Or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them.
I also learned that it's not just about rote, routine, mindless practice, but you had to do it deliberately. If you mess up, you have to go back and recite the lines clearly and continue from there. So I practiced a lot and incorporated it throughout my daily activities. And over the weeks and days and many months, I felt like I was finally making progress.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep no more, and by sleep we say to end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to.
'Tis a consummation fatly to be wished. To die, to sleep perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. In that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's a respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the packman's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, the spurns of patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself made his quietest make with a bare bodkin. Who follows better grant a sweat under real life, but dread something after death? And discover country from his born and travel, tries puzzles, the will makes rather pillars as we have them quite others that we know not of. Thus conscience doth make cowards of us all, and thus the native view of resolution is sickly to order with a pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pith and moment with this regard, their currents turn awry, and lose the name of action.
But something felt off. What was the cost of this experiment I was putting myself through? Why take the time out of each day to do this? What's the point? Why bother? I began to question my own sanity. But that's when I thought of the milk guy. He must have had some points of uncertainty and doubt, but he pushed through and found himself on a big network TV show, beloved by an entire generation. It's not about proving to anyone that I can do this or breaking a world record. It was always about setting a goal and challenging myself to complete it. So let's see if I can fulfill a childhood dream and break an official world record. I have my timer and I'm ready to go. The time I have to beat is 23.8 seconds. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether noble the mind stuff, the things that has outrageous fortune, order carries chosen by posing them, desire sleep more by sleep state, and the heartache and 1,000 natural shocks, fetch, there's consummation, not to which to die, sleep, sensory mind, there's rub, feeling sleep, death, dream, become, we've shuffled out some moral cosmos, gifts, pots, respect, makes calamity, soul, and life, who would bear the ones, scores their time. To be or not to be, there's a question whether noble the mind stuff, the things and hours of outrageous fortune, order to count against your children by posing at them, style, sleep no more by sleep state, and the heartache and 1,000 natural shocks, there too. It's a consummation, doubt, bewitched to die, sleep, dream, mind, there's rub, from that sleep, death, dream, become, we've shuffled out some moral cosmos, gifts, pots, respect, makes calamity, soul, and life, who would bear the ones, scoring time, their present wrong, proud of his economy, the pens with surprise, left the last states, lens, and office, the spurge, page matter, orderly takes from himself, made us quite as make with the bread back in. Who would fight all the better, gone us order in real life, but the drift, something after death, the recovery, born, returns, puzzles, the will, makes without business, will have, fight others, and noted of. This conscious cowards us all, unless any few resolution is secretly door with the pack has a lot of an enterprise, a great pith moment with disregard the current rally moves in action. 34.68 seconds. That's as fast as I'm going to get. There's no way I can shave 10 seconds off of that. I wasn't fast enough, and I certainly didn't do it flawlessly, so it's not going to happen. Although this is somewhat disappointing, I've learned an important lesson. It's not about speaking as fast as possible. It's about personal development and improving one's speech. And after completing this journey, I can honestly say that I have a newfound respect for this Shakespeare fellow. He does have a way with words. So if you're looking for a new challenge or a way to improve your articulation, consider learning the Hamlet Soliloquy, or maybe there's some other challenge that you've been meaning to accomplish. If you made it this far, thanks for watching, speak well and be well.